Imagine walking through the golden sands of ancient Egypt, where dogs were more than just pets. They were guardians, healers, and even messengers of the gods. But why did the Egyptians hold dogs in such high regard? In this video, we'll explore 13 fascinating reasons why dogs were considered sacred in ancient Egypt. Some of these reasons might surprise you. Subscribe and let's get started. Reason 1. Dogs as symbols of protection. Dogs in ancient Egypt weren't just pets, they were protectors. They guarded homes, temples, and even tombs, keeping watch against intruders and unseen forces. The Egyptians believed a dog's presence could ward off evil spirits. Wealthy families often kept dogs as living guardians, and some even had their statues placed at entrances to ensure continued protection. One of the most powerful symbols of protection in Egyptian mythology was Anubis, the jackal-headed god. He wasn't just a guardian, he was the protector of the dead, guiding souls safely into the afterlife. Because of this connection, many Egyptians buried their dogs with them, believing they would continue their protective role in the next life. Some tombs contained dog mummies, showing just how much Egyptians valued their loyal protectors. Reason 2. Dogs as companions of the gods. Dogs weren't just guardians, they were divine companions. Two important Egyptian deities, Anubis and Wepawet, were depicted with dog or jackal-like heads, symbolizing their connection to both protection and the afterlife. Anubis was the god of mummification and the afterlife. He was responsible for guiding souls safely through the underworld and ensuring they were judged fairly. His strong jackal-like form emphasized his role as a watchful guardian over the dead. Wepawet, another canine god, was known as the opener of the ways. He was a warrior deity who helped Egyptian armies in battle, believed to clear the path to victory and success. Some ancient texts even describe him leading pharaohs through dangerous journeys, ensuring their safety. Fun fact, because of their connection to these gods, Egyptians often saw dogs as sacred beings, and harming them was considered bad luck. Reason 3. Dogs in funerary practices. Egyptians didn't just cherish their dogs in life, they honored them in death as well. Just like humans, some dogs were mummified with great care, receiving elaborate burials. Wealthy families and even pharaohs ensured that their beloved dogs would join them in the afterlife. Some dogs were placed in tombs alongside their owners, symbolizing eternal companionship and protection. Archaeologists have uncovered entire cemeteries filled with dog mummies, proving that dogs weren't just animals in Egyptian society, they were highly valued, even in death. These discoveries show that Egyptians believed their dogs would continue to serve and protect them beyond the mortal world. Fun fact, the largest dog cemetery was found at Saqqara, an ancient burial site. Thousands of dog mummies were discovered there, suggesting they played a significant role in religious and funerary traditions. Reason 4. Dogs as symbols of loyalty and devotion. Loyalty is one of a dog's most well-known traits, and the ancient Egyptians deeply admired this quality. Dogs were not just companions, they were symbols of unwavering devotion. One famous example comes from an inscription found in an Egyptian tomb, honoring a dog named Abudiyu. This ancient text praises him for his faithfulness and service, proving that Egyptians held their dogs in the highest regard. Wall paintings and carvings often depict dogs sitting or standing next to their owners, showing their close bond. Pharaohs, nobles, and commoners alike treasured their dogs, believing their loyalty transcended even death. Fun fact, some dogs were given collars with their names inscribed, just like modern pets. This shows how personally connected Egyptians felt to their furry companions. Reason 5. Dogs in hunting and daily life. Dogs weren't just pets in ancient Egypt, they were valuable working animals. They played a crucial role in hunting, herding, and protecting livestock. One of the most famous hunting dogs of ancient Egypt was the Saluki. This sleek and fast breed was often depicted in Egyptian art, known for its speed, agility, and sharp tracking skills. Pharaohs and nobles relied on Seleucus for hunting gazelles and other game, making them a status symbol among Egypt's elite. The better a hunting dog was, the more honored its owner became in society. Some dogs were so highly regarded that they were given special burials, proving their importance in daily life. Fun fact: archaeologists have found dog collars and leashes dating back to ancient Egypt, showing that dogs were trained and handled much like they are today. Reason 6. Dogs as healers and protectors against evil. Ancient Egyptians believed that dogs possessed magical and healing abilities. Many thought that dogs could ward off sickness and protect against evil spirits. Some Egyptians wore dog-shaped amulets, believing these charms would keep them safe from harm. Others kept live dogs nearby, thinking that their presence could absorb negative energy and bring healing. In temples and healing practices, dogs were sometimes seen as guardians of the ill. Their protective nature was symbolic of good health, safety, and well-being. Fun fact: the idea of dogs having healing abilities still exists today. Therapy dogs are used to comfort the sick and relieve stress. Reason 7. Dogs in mythology and folklore. Dogs weren't just important in daily life, they were deeply woven into Egyptian mythology. The most famous example is Anubis, the jackal-headed god who judged souls in the afterlife. Egyptians believed that if you treated dogs well in life, they would protect you in death. This belief reinforced the sacred role of dogs in Egyptian culture. Another lesser-known god, Wepwawet, was depicted as a wolf or dog-like deity who led pharaohs to victory in battle. This shows that Egyptians saw dogs as not just companions but powerful, divine beings. The deep mythological connection between dogs and the gods made these animals highly respected in Egyptian society. Many believed that dogs had a special link to the spiritual world, guiding and protecting both the living and the dead. Fun fact: some Egyptian tombs feature inscriptions that say, "May my dog guide me in the afterlife." This proves how much they believed in a dog's loyalty beyond death. Reason 8. Dogs as status symbols. In ancient Egypt, owning a dog was a privilege. While some people had dogs for hunting or protection, only the wealthy and powerful could afford rare or expensive breeds. Pharaohs, nobles, and high-ranking officials prized their dogs as symbols of status and wealth. The more exotic and well-trained the dog, the higher the owner's social standing. Some dogs were even given jewelry, golden collars, and special burial rites, proving that they were more than just animals. They were a mark of distinction and prestige. Fun fact: some pharaohs had their dogs' names engraved on their tombs, just like they did with their most trusted advisors. Reason 9. Dogs in religious rituals. Dogs weren't just hunters, protectors, or companions. They played a role in Egyptian religious ceremonies. Many temples dedicated to Anubis, the god of the afterlife, housed live dogs, which were cared for by priests as sacred animals. Some temples even had special burial grounds for these sacred dogs. In certain rituals, dogs were seen as messengers to the gods. Some were even sacrificed as offerings, with the belief that they would carry prayers to the afterlife. Fun fact: archaeologists have discovered hundreds of mummified dogs in temple tombs, showing their deep spiritual connection in Egyptian culture. Reason 10. Dogs as symbols of the afterlife. Ancient Egyptians believed that dogs had a special connection to the afterlife. Many depictions in the Book of the Dead show dog-like figures guiding souls safely through the dangers of the underworld. Dogs were seen as spiritual protectors, ensuring that the dead reached the afterlife unharmed. Some tombs feature paintings or statues of dogs walking beside the deceased, symbolizing protection on their journey to eternity. This belief was so strong that some Egyptians were buried with their dogs, hoping for their loyal companion to guide them beyond the grave. Fun fact: some historians believe that the jackal-headed Anubis was inspired by real Egyptian dogs, whose role in guarding graves may have influenced their divine symbolism. Reason 11. Dogs in art and symbolism. Dogs weren't just important in daily life, they were immortalized in Egyptian art. Ancient carvings, statues, and hieroglyphs frequently featured dogs, symbolizing loyalty, protection, and divine connection. These depictions weren't just for decoration, they reflected how deeply Egyptians valued their canine companions. Some dogs were even honored with funerary steles, stone slabs used for memorials, proving that they weren't just pets, but cherished members of society. Fun fact: Egyptian dog statues were often placed at tombs and temple entrances, serving as guardians in both life and the afterlife. Reason 12. Dogs as emotional companions. Ancient Egyptians didn't just own dogs, they loved them deeply. Evidence shows that Egyptians mourned their dogs as if they were family members. Some even wrote letters to their deceased pets, expressing grief, love, and longing. These letters often included prayers for the dog's well-being in the afterlife, showing that Egyptians believed their pets lived on beyond death. This emotional connection elevated dogs from mere animals to true companions, proving that the human-dog bond has existed for thousands of years. Fun fact: some Egyptian families shaved their eyebrows as a sign of mourning when their beloved dog passed away. Reason 13. Dogs as symbols of rebirth and renewal. Dogs weren't just symbols of loyalty and protection, they also represented life, death, and rebirth. Egyptians believed that just as the sun rose each day, dogs helped souls transition into a new life. Their connection to Anubis, the god of the afterlife, reinforced this belief. Anubis, often depicted holding the ankh, the symbol of life, represented guidance through death and into rebirth. This made dogs more than just earthly beings, they were spiritual guardians in the journey of the soul. Fun fact: some ancient Egyptian spells included references to dogs, believing they could help guide lost souls safely to the afterlife. Dogs in ancient Egypt were more than pets. They were protectors, healers, and divine symbols. Their roles in daily life, religion, and mythology made them sacred animals. Do you think dogs still hold a sacred place in our lives today? Tell us in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey through history, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more fascinating stories about our best friend dog. See you in the next video.